Hmm? Ah!
We will not be leaving this place.
You left your realm, Dream King. This castle is ours now, to do with what we will. You and yours are no longer safe here.
Hello, Lighter Hall.
We are not Lighter Hall.
We are more than Lighter Hall.
You hurt my gatekeeper.
You killed my son.
You have been deceived by those that would use you to achieve their own ends.
Hey, Panlers and Podcastica listeners, welcome to the show. I'm Jayme.
And I'm Mark.
And this is a spoiler-full podcast about Sandman Season 2, Episode 9 and 10. This is a collaborative podcast along with Podcastica Network, so this podcast will be available both for Panels to Pixels and Podcastica, wherever you listen to your podcast. That was way too many P's in a row.
Yeah, I know, dreamers. Too many P's. All right. Well, in this particular podcast episode, we are covering Sandman Season 2, Episode 9, The Kindly Ones. And the synopsis for that particular episode is: confined to his realm, Morphius conjures up a new nightmare to do his bidding. The god of deception deals roughly with an intrusion thorn in his side. And of course, Sandman Season 2, Episode 10, Long Live the King. Synopsis is: fueled by rage, a grieving mother unleashes her wrath upon the dreaming as Morpheus confronts the kindly ones at the furthest reaches of his kingdom. So, we already said this is spoiler full, so obviously they're going to coincide because it's going to interplay. There's going to be certain things that we discuss probably in episode 10 that we'll talk about 9 and 9 and 10 and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
we just won't go beyond 10.
Exactly.
Because I personally haven't watched Beyond 10 yet.
Same here. All right, cool. So with that, we're going to go into initial thoughts. We could do into initial thoughts about 9. So what were your thoughts, Jayme?
I thought it was good, but I feel like there were some things that maybe could have been explained better. Some things that seemed a touch weird. Overall, I really liked it. Overall, I thought it was good. It was intriguing.
Yeah.
Just, there seemed like some question marks that I don't know if it was just because of this is the last season, so we have to cram it all in, or...
Yeah. It seemed like it's like, okay, set forth the people to go get all the information that I need and to help me out as soon as I can. By the way, Johanna, here's my new Corinthian. Yeah, he's a serial killer, but I tamed him. He's in my dreamland. He does suck eyes and gets information. It's kind of weird. Yeah, but you need to get Daniel and get him to a safe place and go. and
in the meantime,
everything else. Yeah.
Like stuff with Lyta, I don't feel like it's being explained well enough.
No, it's not. It's like literally... we don't know exactly. She's on a revenge trip based upon the Furies at this point.
Yeah, like they're controlling her, but how did we get to that point? And why are the fates so against? I mean, I know he spilled family blood, but like
there's no real major explanation.
It feels like they've been waiting to get to him to get to Morpheus for some reason, and we don't know.
Yeah, it's everything is up in the air, and it's one of those I guess led to interpretation because of how he was to Lyta before, but also what he owed to the Furies, but we still don't know exactly what he owes completely. There are certain things that he had done over time that we have seen, but what is that one specific thing that he had done? And that to me is what is confusing as a viewer, not as a reader. You're more the reader. You know what happens within the comic in comparison to what is being told, but in continuity, it's kind of struggling to watch for you because you're like, I already know what's going on, but where's all that other stuff that we need to know?
Yeah, that the non-comic book readers.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even as a comic book reader, some of it felt kind of jarring. Like, okay,
Really?
why? Well, maybe jarring's a harsh word, but just like, okay, why exactly is this happening? Why is it going like this?
I just like the fact that we continued where we left off. So they literally continued exactly where we left off.
Yeah.
With the new Corinthian being there and Dream talking to him, his remembering Lucien. So Corinthian remembers Lucien and Matthew.
Yeah, he knows he's the second edition of himself.
Version. Yes.
Yeah.
And Dream demanding him to bring back Daniel to him and teaming up with, of all things, Johanna Constantine. And he winds up persuading Johanna with an Eagle Stone, the one of 12 that Dream invested with his power long ago. And it's the power of the stone will uncreate him at some point. So he's giving this power to her, like in her hands, but it also will give her something too, but we don't know. That is the one thing that was questionable within this episode, within that conversation. It was confusing to me as a viewer, but I'm sure there was something more within the comic, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to reread the comic. I'm just going off my memories of it. I think it's been at least 5 years since I've reread the comics.
Yeah, but even still, you have an overall view or memory of what had happened. The only thing that I took away from it was like interesting facts, like Corinthian pestering Johanna on the bus I thought that was funny and cute.
Yeah, I liked their dynamic. I thought they were kind of adorable.
Yeah.
I like the new Corinthian. He's snarky, he's a nightmare, but he's not harmful.
He's withheld.
Helpful.
He's withheld at certain points.
He's
stating
not
that he has to play to Dream's whims regardless of what happens. And then that's really getting Daniel and getting basically Daniel and Johanna to Daniel's family, which bothers her, and then handing her the stone can control Dream. And it's weird because even Johanna just wants to wake up at times.
Yeah.
And that's something that's out of character for me, for her, because she lives on the edge. If you think about it, I don't know.
Yeah, and she's very much a loner.
Yeah.
So having like this,
it's like an attachment to Dream that everybody has to some point, but they're not really acknowledging it in any way. In some sort of, it's like they cut scenes. And if Netflix did the original uncut version, it'd be great. So we'll find out.
But we also had Lyta being told by Loki that her son is dead. Yes.
And his continual influence into that, which is so crazy.
And like the whole time he's telling her, like it's just coming across as, well, it may not be true. Like, how do you know that picture, we don't see the picture.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that picture he showed her is right? And the other thing is, like, we can see Mad Hetty in the background, which I thought was an interesting, what turns out to be foreshadowing.
Well, Henrietta, you talking about the Harbinger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mad Hattie with her doggies.
Yep. I just love how it kind of segues into another scene, though, after that. Lucien's cunning way of distracting Dream, because he doesn't know what to do with his time, and he just wants to read more, and he can't do anything regardless. It's all the frustration building up within him, and she offers him things that he can do while he's there, but he's so frustrated, and she tries to offer a way to spend his last times in existence to help him, and things that require his attention.
I loved learning about like the business of dreaming.
The Night of Cloud and that business, and then she sends him forth within that.
Yeah, but she was going over like all of these things that need to be done to like keep We keep everything
his
running.
affairs
it's,
done, together literally before you pass.
Yeah. Well, not even, I mean, even before, I think it was stuff that just needs to be done overall in dreaming. And that's what Lucienne does all the time, is keep all of this stuff in order and keep it going. And
Well, do you think that Dream has ADHD in any way, so he can't figure it out?
no, I think he's just a lord or a king or a whatever, a ruler of some kind who isn't involved in the day-to-day. Like, he's on the higher end of things and he forgets about what needs to be done day to day. That's what Lucienne is there for. That's what the others are there for. Like, he's
to aid him. Matthew, Merv, everybody else. Cain, Abel.
Fiddler's Green.
Yeah, very much. I love how Luana and Kirkin about her necklace and her wanting the glamour off still at this point, even when she's in the fairyland. She doesn't want it on at all. She got so used to who she was in Dreamland at that point. In the fairyland, it's not acceptable.
Yeah, but he does eventually take it off.
Yeah.
Which is sweet of him. Like, I kind of want a little bit of a spin-off show of Fairy and what's going on there.
Yeah, same here too.
Like,
they're intriguing.
We got touches of it. Yeah, we got touches of it, but I feel like we could see more.
Yeah. Notes to people in Netflix: you don't have to contact Neil Gaiman. You can create your own structure in your own universe, your own things. So you own it already. So
yeah.
But yeah, I found it very intriguing, and I really do like that world, and I want to explore more of what they do. There's one point too, we get Loki and the woman who figured him out, and he leads her away. Mrs. Shore and Loki's charms.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
He talks about religion and how it is and how it's structured and everything. And she knew that it was him that took the child. So then he reveals who he is and burns her with his cigarettes.
Yeah, like he pulled out a gun and then it became a cigarette.
Yeah,
like
literally to burn her specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of almost like an illusion, which is what Loki does, everybody. He's the master of mischief.
He is. And then the next scene, we find out Delirium has lost Barnabas.
Yes.
And she goes to Destiny, because that's where they started looking for destruction, was with Destiny.
Yep. And Destiny has a little bit of an issue with her.
Destiny has a little bit of an issue with everyone.
It's like he talks in riddles all the time, too.
Yes, because he is bound by what's in his book.
Yeah, and then he's going to go cry to his mama.
Because he can't talk to anybody else.
Yeah, I know.
But if you look for your dog, you should find it, but you will find other things as well. And then, and
she does later on. Actually, spoilers. She finds Goldie.
Well, she's given Goldie.
Oh yeah, she's given Goldie. But even still, she gets Goldie. And then, at the very end, she does find her doggie.
I like that we started seeing two Destinies and more.
Yeah, it was like, oh, what the hell? We got a mirror effect. What's going on here?
Yeah, and Delirium was like, oh, I would like to be able to say more than one thing at once.
I think it's because Destiny at that point was being split because reality was starting to change based upon what was going on with Dream and everything that was going on with what was originally destined. And that's what Delirium was witnessing and going, oh, crap. The fit had hit the Shan, and now we're encountering this in real time, but she's delirious anyway, so she's used to things that are strange.
Well, later when she's talking with Dream, he said he gets very intrigued by the fact that there's more than one Destiny. He's like, oh, there's still paths, there's still options, there are things that can still be done.
Yes.
Yes, things are set on a path, but the path forks over and over and over. An
alternate timeline. Yes, everybody, those you panelers, we all talk about this within the DC universe as well as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are alternate paths. Yes. And same thing with what Neil Gaiman had created with the Sandman universe. So there are multiple paths that can happen. And I think with this, they actually created that. Was that in the comic, though, is the question for you, Jayme? Did they actually create an alternate universe so that way we know it's different?
It's not quite an alternate universe. It's just more to show that there are
other possibilities.
Yeah, things are not defined.
Okay.
You don't have one path. You have multiple options. And if you choose to go the right this time, you know what, you may be able to go back and make a left later, and you just had to take the long way around. Or
okay,
things are
this is like
linear but not fixed.
So this is like one of those books you used to read where choose your own path to choose your own adventure, and you have like several different options, like 3, and then you have that. So within this case, this is what Dream has.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we saw an infinite number of
possibilities that could be there.
Yeah. So yes, there is a set path in Destiny, but it's not a fixed path. Like you are still in control of your own outcome.
Okay.
It's not uncontrolled by you no matter what you do. You still have power and control over what happens to you. It's just
dependent on that specific time at that moment. And then you choose your own path.
And if you're going right or left or straight or
to make it simplified for people to understand who are a little confused. I kind of figured that at that certain point, because when I saw 2 Destinies and he's like, he's glitching out. And I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. I knew what it was, but a lot of other people are like, what am I watching? You know?
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about the episode is I like how the New Corinthian wants to do everything that Dream wants and not get uncreated.
Yeah, he's kind of like a puppy.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to use fire and alcohol. And the first thing that Johanna wants to do at one point is bring out fire and alcohol. and that was to weed them out. But they do it in the end, and Odin is on their tracks, apparently, from what we could tell. He's following them on their footsteps to really look for Loki at this point. So we kind of get that inkling at that point.
Yeah, because if we remember, he thought he had Loki locked up. He didn't know Loki was loose.
Yes. So he knows how troublesome his, I would say, stepson. Because
he's effectively killed a baby because he didn't want to owe Dream a favor. Like, that's insane.
That is insane.
That's more than just, I'm a fun little spirit of chaos. Like, that's insane. It wasn't that he was going to be forever indebted to him. He owed him one boon, one favor. And instead he decided, instead of just being like, okay, here's your one favor, your one thing this one time, he destroys a god. Or he works to destroy a god.
Yeah, literally. Like somebody who could take over the Dreamland.
Yeah, it's so out destroying lives. And
a child, too, at that point, because it is a child, still a child.
Yeah, he killed all of the humanity out of Daniel. And he killed Mrs. Shore and how many other people leading up to this moment. It's all because he owed a favor. It wasn't like he was enacting revenge over some wrong that had been done to him.
Yeah.
He willingly made the deal to, you know what I mean? Like, he's a psychopath.
Yeah, all said and done, Puck was a better person.
Oh, yeah. Puck is fun little chaos.
He's fun little chaos, but has a sense of humanity within him.
Yeah.
And that...
Yeah. He
just wanted to have fun.
He and Delirium, I think, would be a cute couple.
Oh, yeah, they would.
I mean, it would be a disaster.
Oh, it would be a disaster. Or a fun party on a cruise line.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they would be a nightmare for everyone else around them, but it would be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Adorable. Like, heart's in the right place overall, but still very mischievous, very...
Yeah.
But Puck doesn't quite lean that way.
No, he doesn't. He likes the boys. So it's okay. But you never know.
Yeah. They could be chaos friends.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny though. We get Harbinger telling Lyta that she's sorry and that the three ladies said that they were sorry as well, then leads her to the Furies. And I can't really call them the Furies, remember? Because you kept telling me I can't.
They're the kindly
The
ones.
kindly ones, yeah, I know.
Yes. You don't want to anger them.
Well, I guess I'm more like Dream. I don't care. But yeah, we get that little bit of information. We get the scenes, and it lights a fire under Lyta. And it's more of vengeance more than anything. And then
yeah, I mean, I get it. Somebody kills my child, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I understand
completely. That. I would too. But then we get the new Corinthian with of all things, our lovely mystic Johanna, and they find what was the name, Mrs. Shore.
Mrs. Shore, yeah.
And he takes her eyeballs and puts them in his eyes.
He's got to see the last moment somehow. Like he's not just an evil serial killer. He's not a serial killer anymore. But
to see the teeth
useful.
With the eyes of her eyes in there was a little bit crazy.
My boyfriend hates the eye teeth. He cannot stand them. It weirds him out so bad.
Apparently there's an eye thing going on in a lot of shows lately that I'm not aware of, because even in Peacemaker, they had a thing where Eagly pulled out somebody's eye in the most recent episode. Spoilers, everybody. Yeah, you get a bald eagle pulling out somebody's eyeball. And then there's these things in Alien Earth, and there's a whole bunch of other things. So for you Podcastica listeners and you panelers that have not been catching up with other podcasts, sorry, but you're probably listening to this a little later, which is okay. But apparently there's an eyeball thing that's going on. And it seems to be like Steve and I both stated, there has to be a trend that's been going on for the past year and a half, 2 years. Something about eyes. It kind of reminds me of the eyeball gag that they did in the original Evil Dead. Remember that, Jayme? Thumbs in the eyes and the goo and coming out and all. Yeah. So
yeah, eyes. I mean, eyes are an easy gore factor.
It's the one cringe factor, I guess. They looked up and said, "Okay, what really creeps people out? Oh, eyes. Oh, okay."
I mean, I'll be honest. Eyes get to me. I can't do contacts because like the touching of eyeballs.
I can never put any even fake contacts into my eyes. I don't know why. I just can never do it. But
I can't watch somebody put in or take out contacts. Like I just nope. Sorry.
Nope. My eyeballs are sensitive. I can't touch them.
It's a mental block for me.
Well, you can't even watch that. What was that? That Adam Sandler cartoon with Transylvania. I forget the name of it.
Oh,
Hotel Transylvania. When he goes, ooh, and he starts touching his eyes. And he starts touching his eyeball.
No, and you're just doing that right now.
I wasn't doing it. I was doing the side of my eye. Everybody, I wasn't touching my eyeball. I was doing the skin.
He's still making it wiggle.
I was thinking, yeah, well, I can't touch it. I can't stand it. But yeah, the fact that the woman was still dead, but he was able to get all the information from her, but he feels the effects of her while looking within her eyes, and he finds Loki. But he said, "Oh, she lived a great life." Everything else.
Yeah, because he gets everything. And that was kind of
nice,
sweet.
It was sweet, yeah.
Because we haven't heard much of her, but we know she felt guilt. Like everything we learned about her, she seemed like a really genuinely good person, and it was nice to know that at the very least she lived a good life.
Yeah.
So it was a nice way to just kind of tie a little bow on her story and not feel as bad as we could about her.
That is true. The only thing else I have would be about Nuala giving the queen her boon that Dream gave her.
Well, there's that. Did she drop it or was it stolen?
I think it was stolen.
I think so too.
And then the queen summoning Dream. And then he is in fairyland at that point, and he knows what the queen wants, but why am I here? What am I doing here? And all the information given to him at that point.
By pulling him out of dreaming is now no longer safe.
Correct.
Like Nuala, in trying to save him, ends up killing him.
Well, endangering him. Yeah. And he's kind of like annoyed, but not angry at her directly. He's more annoyed at the queen because he knows it was the queen that summoned him at this point. And and then she winds up sending him off on his way at a certain point too. I don't. Is it in this episode or the next episode? I'm forgetting.
I don't have the notes that he went back in this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a little bit. We see a little bit of what happens to Dream. So yeah, he doesn't come back right away. He's still there. He doesn't come back in this. He's still there. And again, I want to know more about the fairy. I want to know more about
her obsession with Dream, the queen.
Well, yeah, her obsession with Dream, Puck and Clarigan. Yep. What kind of party was happening when we first see Clarigan and Nuala talking? Because there are naked people just strewn about the room.
Yeah. It reminds me of something out of Peacemaker where they had an orgy scene. But that was way out of like Amazon Prime from The Boys at that point with that particular show. This one is a little bit more classy.
I want more fairy. Yeah, I want more fairy. Like, I'm curious.
The fairy love? Not going to add anything. The fairy love? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I want to know. I want to know how their world works. I want to know how many of them there are. I want to know how often they affect, the real world. I just want to know more about the fairies.
What is their passions? But we already know what Kurrican wants. He likes excess, like with
he also wants somebody to know him. Like, that's why he brought his sister back, was because he felt lonely.
Well, the thing is, I think
but now that he has Puck back, maybe he is not going to be so lonely.
Hopefully. But the thing is that I think with Kurrican, he doesn't know what he wants. He likes the ideals of excess, but he doesn't know what he truly wants. And when he states it about his sister, I think he wants what he has with his sister with somebody who's a significant other. And I think Kurrican would do that with someone like Puck, because I think he floats both ways. And I think it works for him. I think he's just, it sounds like a realistic kind of thing with somebody coming to terms with their own sexuality. But I think he also wants to have love and have that unbridled passion that he looks for, but he shows it in excesses. So he shows it in certain ways with his sister and that compassionate love, and then the excesses of his drinking, his orgies, his whatever. It's just him overindulging, as I would say. I don't know. Maybe I'm overemphasizing and analyzing it too much, but that's what I'm getting out of it.
It was just more interesting. Like, it's just how deep that world is. I wanted to learn a little more.
It would make more sense if we got a little bit more in touch with it. There could be side shows or offshoot shows regarding certain characters, but we're not going to get there, unfortunately. But I think they kind of insinuated it, or with a little bit of innuendo with the story of these particular characters and how they are. That way we know where they're coming from, and that's what I got out of Kurrican. If you listeners have any other ideas, let me know. Maybe I'm overthinking it in some respect, but that's what I was getting out of Kurrican at that point. And Lua, or what was it, Luana or Laura? I'm forgetting her name. Lula. There we go. Nula. There we go. I don't know why I'm getting Lula.
Nuala.
Yeah. I think Nuala started finding herself in the dreamland, and she found herself to the point where she found dream understanding of who she was and who she was without the glamour. And that's where her loyalties led to. And she appreciates that and loves him for who he is and wants him to survive. That's why we get what we get later on in episode 9 with her coming to his aid, as well as what was going on within this with the whole thing with the queen and challenging the queen at that point, saying he took it. The pendant, that is, by the way.
Yeah.
But we do find ourselves at the end with the Furies coming to the dream realm and taking out what's his name?
Gilbert / Fiddler's Green.
There you go. Fiddler's Green. That's what I was kind of.
And he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like, that was heartbreaking.
He just turned into plants, and that was it.
Well, no, he turned into plants and then died. And then it all went died. It all went black. If he just turned into plants, he was just Fiddler's Green, that'd be one thing. But all of him ceased to exist, and he has always been a beautiful, clean soul.
Yeah.
He's always been there to help.
But the Furies are, well, whatever you want to call them. they're on the behest of Lyta about her son.
Yeah, but they're also controlling her. Like,
they are.
I mean, she got a badass outfit.
Oh, yeah. Her avatar, and that's what she is. An avatar of herself in the dreamland to take vengeance on Dream, because she's led to believe that's what had happened, what that Dream had taken her only son. And, he's dead, but there's a portion of him living in that dreamland.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah, she doesn't
at the moment,
but she's just taking that out.
But I know she only has him. One thing we forget is she only has him because he was created in the dreaming.
Sure.
Because he's a dream.
Correct.
I mean, it's awful to say, but he was never really hers.
No.
He was on loan from dreaming.
Yeah.
It was her son, and she loves her son, and I understand mom rage, but this was going to happen to her eventually. He was going to end up back at the dreaming at a certain point, because he was made in the dreaming.
Yeah.
Without Dream, she doesn't get Daniel. So we have twice where Dream set up his own demise.
That is true. Yeah. He's got two people against him.
Yeah. But before she got there, one thing to just note, because it'll become important later, is Mad Hetty drawing the lipstick. I like the lipstick circle of protection. Yes. I don't know that I have any lipstick that could make that deep of a line that big without running out, but that was impressive.
Yeah, exactly, right?
We know it's a protection, and I assumed it was a protection against bad forces.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when they come into the dreaming, because now Morphius is not there.
Well, that's all I had. Did you have anything else towards the end that I missed, maybe, that you could add to that?
I'm just taking a quick look. I mean, we learned that the Corinthian's gay, I believe. I have a note about that.
Huh.
I think. Or maybe I just wrote something weird. Oh, no. Daniel the Corinthian is going to take very good care of you. Not gay. Ha, going. I just wrote it really poorly. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, them on the bus was interesting.
Oh my God. Was it? I'm not people. You can't hurt me. Maybe Dream put us together for a reason. And then there's a point where Johanna says something, or where he says something about not even in your dreams. And we just a few episodes ago, we saw Johanna having sex dreams.
Yeah.
So it struck me as a little funny.
And that is true. That is true.
Yeah. You got any more quotes or anything?
I have a couple of quotes. I do have some needle drops, but quotes as far as I have is Loki to Mrs. Shore about who he is. And he says, because I am Loki, I am fire, I'm wit and hate. And I would be under obligation to no one. So I thought that was interesting because it was his declaration of who he is and what he's doing.
Yeah.
One from the Corinthian to Johanna about knowing the woman had a great life, Mrs. Shore. It's all about the eyes. Take, for example, and then Johanna cuts him off going, yeah, I'll be keeping those things.
That was good.
And then for needle drops for you listeners that are out there, the main song featured in the Sandman Season 2, Episode 9, titled Black Water, is a rendition of The Rains of Castamere by the band The National. And the vocalist Matt Barringer, which plays during the episode's end credits. The episode's composer, David Buckley, also provided a score with tracks like A Family Gathering and Not Even in My Dreams, which can be found on the official soundtrack for the Sandman Season 2 soundtrack, which you could find on Spotify too, by the way. So keep that in mind. So if all those of you who love what's going on music-wise within this season or even the past season, they have a whole Sandman soundtrack. Just subscribe to it on your Spotify playlist and it will be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
The music was really helpful. I had another quote. Oh. Yeah. Dream says, like, the path that I'm on leads to my death. It's only a matter of time. But then Lucienne responds to that. The time you have left may be limited, but you get to choose how to spend it. Which I thought was a good point. Like you don't have to be moping around. You can make the best of things. You can make things better.
Yeah.
Even if you only have a limited amount of time. And then when one of the endless changes, that changes everything.
Fortuitous.
Yeah, and but along with that, like when Delirium and Dream are talking, it's like the things we do make echoes. Our existence deforms the universe.
Yeah, but influences others, which they don't really reflect on. And to you listeners, I have not watched episode 11. So I do not know, but it's just me foreshadowing it in my own mind. I have not watched it yet. I think I've watched these two episodes maybe 1.5 times each before I could actually record. So that tells you how much information I was able to get within 1.5 viewings. Anything else, or
that's about it?
For episode 10, there was a bunch of things that happened which really upset the crap out of me. Like seeing Abel die by the hands of the Furies in the very beginning, that was just terrible.
Like, and they flat out say, today you will die for the last time, because that's how we started the show, was him dying.
Yeah, I remember that. Like in the very first season. Yeah.
Like he dies and comes back. Like Cain constantly kills Abel, but he always comes back. And
then we get to see Merv get taken out. But Merv with the gun.
And Merv with the gun was amazing.
I thought it was awesome. Then, you got Luke Skywalker with a gun. Everybody, big pumpkin head Luke Skywalker. Go, come on, come at me. But the Furies talk to him, and Matthew, they take him out. Not Matthew, by the way. So sad to see that happen, though, to Merv. But Matthew gets away.
And Merv was gruesome. I mean, it was pumpkin guts, but still, like,
it was.
If that wasn't colored orange, people would be very would be more grossed out. Like that was some like in almost invincible level gore.
Yeah, it literally was. When she means invincible, it's Invincible, the comic book and
it's another show we
animated
cover.
adaptation that we cover here on Panels the Pixels podcast, everybody. But it's also, something a Robert Kirkman comic book that had come out years ago, but very gruesome. And it's like Nightmare on Oz Street, like Wizard of Oz Street, because it's like a pumpkin head guy getting killed because there was a pumpkin guy in Wizard of Oz. It's like, think of smashing a pumpkin on the ground, but with stick legs and arms and everything that was living, and you smashed him down to the point where he's splattered. Ugh. It was so sad because he had so much personality.
Yeah, he was so much fun.
He was so much fun. I did love how Mark Hamill had portrayed him, audibly for us as a character. It was CG created. I don't care. I just love the character. Then we got the Corinthian with Daniel in Dreamland and being with Lucienne in the palace. It's weird to see, of all things, the Corinthian protecting somebody, not killing somebody, but protecting a baby and bringing him into the palace in Dreamland to Lucienne and everybody else that's remaining. What was it? Cain?
Yeah, Cain's still left.
Mm-hmm. And then you have all the magical folk out there that are surrounding the palace, the griffin, the Pegasus / unicorn, and the dragon. Yeah. And they're protecting against the Furies themselves. The kindly ones. Sorry. I don't want to upset the kindly ones. Sorry, kindly ones. But you're furious. I don't care.
What they were doing to the griffin was worse than just killing him.
Terrible. Old, dry, and brittle they make him. And then you could see the anger out of Dream when he shows up, because he spontaneously shows up out of the blue from Fairyland.
He's finishes what he has to do in Fairyland and then comes back.
He's transported back. But he winds up like giving Griffin back his life at that point too. And it's his passion for his people and creatures in his dreamland.
Yeah, and but
you could see
he brought the Griffin back, and he stopped. But stop, leave. These are innocent creatures that you don't. They didn't cause this.
Yeah,
stop hurting them.
Yeah, he was pissed. That's all. That's literally what I have in my notes. It's like, Dream is pissed.
But then,
go ahead.
He invites them in, and we find out, and Lyta finds out that her son's not dead. That should be the end of
Not really, because they state literally that it's half of him. Half of him is alive, half of him is dead or dreaming at that point. Right. So, but we also find out that Lyta herself is dreaming herself.
Yes.
And that's what her avatar is a version of herself in the dream world, taking out her vengeance, her anger, and everything else against Dream at that point, provided by the influence of the Furies or the kindly ones. Anything I missed?
No, you're right. And it's just that what they say to her is we don't rescue, we revenge.
Yes, that was a good quote. That was a good quote.
They were never going to help her get her son back.
Mm-hmm.
They were just
utilizing her as a tool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a point where Dream wants to attend Lyta at what was it, Hippolyta Hall, so that the Dream can survive. And within that, he is putting his life on the line. Then meets the Harbinger.
Mad
Mad
Hetty.
Hetty. And the Harbinger thinks that he is there to kill Lyta at the hall. And Hetty made a deal with apparently with the three and has been around for over 281 years.
Yep. I heard 91, but maybe it was 81. I don't always hear right.
All right. I was reading from because I have some, closed caption.
So then I'm probably wrong.
No, I could be wrong. I don't know. Sometimes, like I've noticed that sometimes closed caption could be wrong at times. It reads things wrong. So trust me.
But yeah, so somewhere between 281 and 291. That's still a lot.
It is still a lot. Yeah, give or take 10 years. And she breaks it down that they all had lost children. Apparently,
yeah. Mad Hetty had lost a child.
That's why she has the animals with the 3 dogs.
Yep.
Dream with his son, Lyta with her son, and Hetty with hers. And Dream knew that what he had to do, and he utilized that, and then he kind of disappears after that to go back. Which I was like, wow. It's like, okay, that was abrasive. He just ends the conversation and leaves. But
yeah,
he knew what he had to do. I guess he had some information he needed. And then the one cool thing, it's a scene that's probably a little later. I'm probably skipping ahead, and I mentioned it earlier. Delirium being gifted Goldie.
Yeah, well, yeah, she got Goldie when Dream said he wasn't leaving with her in the last episode.
Yes. Yeah, we forgot to talk about that.
But I like that, people are staring at Goldie.
Yep, yeah. And then
Goldie.
she puts a string on him to make him look like he's a balloon.
A balloon. That's a balloon I would buy. I'd be like, oh, where did you get
it's
that?
So interactive. I like it. Can my son have one? And Malcolm would love it. Oh, Mom, look at this.
Oh, Alice would too.
But it was so funny too, because she was like enjoying the fact that she had that company. It's something that she missed from another character we all know, a little doggy.
Barnabas.
So, and that's what she was missing. And she's there literally to help Dream at one point, trying to figure things out because of what Delirium had told her and everything. So she's walking through town, and think of this woman that looks a little bit out of the ordinary with this balloon that's flying around on its own.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute. Anything else?
I mean, well, it's just, we keep jumping back and forth to things.
Yeah, I know. That's how I am. Sorry.
I was saying, no, it's fine. Because now I'm thinking when Goldie disappears.
Oh, yes.
When we believe that Morphius is no longer of the plane.
Yeah.
Goldie just disappears, and Hetty's with Delirium and apologizes for Delirium's loss. And then we find that Barnabas is there. So as she loses Goldie, she gets Barnabas back.
Yeah, he starts talking to her, which is so cool.
But Delirium says, I can't feel Morpheus anymore. Like, she can't feel her brother anymore.
Yes. Which comes a little later, I think, too, as well, within the episode.
Yeah,
but within...
Yeah, that was like towards the end. I just figured we'd wrap up the Goldie...
Yeah, the whole Goldie
Delirium
thing.
discussion.
But we do have Dream's goodbye to Luciana and everyone that's left in the castle. And that includes, the Corinthian and Kane, Lucienne, and who else that was there? Matthew. Yeah.
Matthew, who won't go. He's like, let's finish this.
Yes, exactly it. He was just like, I'm with you, boss. I'm here till the end.
And he's always been like, he was the F it, go to hell guy.
Yep.
Matthew's his... I don't want to say most loyal, because he did tell everyone to leave, and a loyal person would have listened to that and left, and they did.
Yes.
And they went with didn't he sent them with the eagle shards,
Correct.
right? Yeah. But he's just his most, I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think of a word, but just, yeah, he's always like gung-ho, but he's going to help. He's not going to let Dream be alone.
He's a loyal companion in the sense that he's there to fight with Dream no matter what. And whereas everybody else is loyal to what Dream wants them to do. That is what is...
Which is also important.
That is also important. So Matthew is there loyal to the point of protecting Dream and being by his side at the very end, whereas everybody else was loyal to what Dream wanted for them and his caring, which shows growth within the character itself. A lot of people wouldn't say that, but I've said this so many times. The Endless take forever to learn and how to grow, but
I mean, they've got a long
time. Exactly. These are gods. So, Matthew's there till the end, and I'm so grateful that Matthew is there. He's so relentless. He's like, no matter what, I'm with you, boss. So,
yeah.
The one thing that I do like about that whole situation, though, is just as everybody's gone, we get the massive landscapes that are beautiful, that are dark and dismal, but with a thunderous and lightning strikes and clouds that you get from raining. Yes, it sounds a lot like our intro, everybody. But I did not get that when I did that 2 years ago. And I can't find the original guitar point, when I do the intro anymore. I really don't want to hear my voice introing it.
I understand that.
Yeah, I said, all right, you know what? I'm just going to do soundscapes and what I did. But it sounds exactly like that. And I'm glad that they did that because it presents the dreaming in a nightmare almost. And it's Dream's end at that point. But it was so dark but beautiful to see.
Yep. And it's all like we're at the edge of dreaming at this point, and it's all ruins.
Yes. Yeah. And he's up there on a cliff on top of a broken castle and overlooking his kingdom at that point, and Matthew's there as well. And then we have Daniel's use with the dream world. You see he's got this little orb and everything, and then
we go back to the castle and Daniel, Lucienne, Kane, and the Carithian are hiding in the throne room, and they're, Lucienne pulls out the empty bowl to try and keep an eye on what's going on.
Yeah. And then Death shows up.
Which is not a good sign.
She goes, I'll just wait.
That's not something good for her Death to say.
Especially about her own brother.
Yeah, because, at the wedding, at her nephew's wedding, everybody had, to go back to their realms because they had a job to do. But even
Lucienne even knew at that point what Death meant.
Oh,
and so did Kane.
Lucienne knew.
And as well as the Corinthian. But Death and Dreams talk on the mountain.
Well, and we've got Lyda, the Avatar, who's just tearing Dreaming apart.
Yes.
She's
go ahead. Go
tearing
through that.
Everything down.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote. It was like the Avatar. She's the Avatar of the Fates, and she's just ripping Dreaming apart. Like everything, basically, other than the throne room, is coming crashing down.
That's how everything gets destroyed, and that's why everything is in shatters. Yeah, it's because she is the avatar of the Fury's wrath, is what it is.
Yep. And then Death tells Matthew, or Dream tells Matthew to go get Death.
Yes.
He wants his sister.
Mm-hmm. And then Death shows up, and they talk upon the mountaintop on overlooking everything, his realm. And
it's so reminiscent of the beginning where they're sitting on the park bench talking.
Correct.
I thought that was beautiful. And, Death says to the fates, or to the kindly ones, leave us alone. This is between me and my brother. She's like, you guys
Already did what you had to do.
and then some.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a price for what he had done. She states that he had changed. And then Dream just says he's tired. And then while that was happening, the Avatar of the Fury still tries to destroy the dreaming realm as it continues. He's just watching his dream realm being destroyed. And Death's ready to take him. And she offers him her hand. But in the distance, we see Lana ready to fight in that realm for him and killing the Avatar of the Furies, beheading her.
Dude. Yeah, that was so
That
cool.
was like, whoa, where'd that come from?
That was
She comes
so
riding
cool.
in out of nowhere.
I mean, Tatiana gave her the sword and told her to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, Morpheus wants to. He talks a lot about Orpheus, but I think he also still feels bad about what he did to his wife. Probably Orpheus's mom too. I'm sure he didn't treat her very well either. Like, he's had a lot of transgressions.
Yeah.
And he feels like he needs to pay for them.
Yeah.
So
he's got a lot of self-guilt.
Yeah. He feels like he wants to end it, but he can't because he has so many responsibilities. And then Death, being the beautiful, beautiful creation that she is, just says, give me your hand.
Yep. And he was very willing to do so.
Or, yeah. She's just so sweet and so kind, and everything goes white.
Yep.
And that's when Goldie disappeared.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, that is when Goldie disappeared, because he was part of the dreaming. That's why.
Yeah, and that's how we know, or we're another implication that Dream is dead. One thing I forgot to mention is when Goldie disappeared and Delirium finds Barnabas, it's outside the White Horse.
Yes.
Which is the tavern that
that Dream would always have that drink with.
I'm blanking on names. It's very late for me.
Same here, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Oh my goodness. Everybody else out there in Dreamland.
Not
Hobbs. Yeah.
Yep, Hob. I got that.
Hob Gadling. You're right.
I did it without looking anything up either.
Yeah, I have everything on the side of me, but I still haven't found it until you said it. As soon as you said Hob, I was like, yeah, Hob Gadling. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's that was his ritual for all that time.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little
segue and talk or reminisce about that. Maybe Delirium will find Hob in there because he was still alive at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's still going.
So maybe she'll find him. And maybe Dream will come back in their dreams. I don't know. Then, of course, we get that final scene.
Well, we have Hetty goes back home to find Lyda.
Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, you take us away with that thought.
Yeah, she wants her son back. Like, she thought this whole thing was to get her son back. Mm-hmm. And Hetty's like, no, you had your chance. That's over. You've destroyed dreaming. You've destroyed Morpheus. Daniel can never come back to you.
Yeah, because that was his
like
point.
That chance.
That's why he was who he was.
Yeah, no, like revenge got you nowhere, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if she had not destroyed dreaming and had, maybe there was a chance, even if she couldn't get him back, she could have visited him in dreams. Yeah. But instead, she salted the earth, and now she's lost him forever.
Yep. So sad. So sad.
It's so sad. But dreaming starts to repair itself.
Yep. And there's a reason why.
We don't know. Yeah, everybody's like, hey, what's going on? And then all of a sudden we see an all grown up Daniel.
Yep. We see an all grown up Daniel, played by one of whom that we talk about on the Famcast on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. It's the one and only Jacob Anderson, who played Louis from Interview with the Vampire. And he is such a handsome guy.
And he is wearing all white as opposed to Dream,
All
who was always
black.
all in black.
Exactly.
Which well, hopefully, maybe next episode we'll find out if that means anything.
Yeah, so he magically morphed into from the baby to the King of Dreams. And yeah, I thought Jack Gleason was the best casting voice choice made for the season.
Yeah.
But now I'm sure, his title might be stolen from another Game of Thrones alumnus at a certain point. I guess we'll see what will happen in the final episode, even though, the combination of Daniel and the title episode and the dream's words doesn't fill everything with too many hopes about his future. We'll see where it goes, but I'm looking forward to see what happens. There's only how many episodes left? One more?
I think we've got 11 and 12 left, but I think 11 is the end and 12 might be a bonus, if I'm right.
I believe so. I believe you are correct, because I had looked it up and I'm like, oh, because on this episode, we did 9 and 10. And then, there's I think 11 and 12.
I'm looking it up.
Let's look it up
now. Episodes and info. Season 2. 11.
And 12, I think.
And then 12 is a special episode.
Which I had mentioned earlier before we started recording.
I just read the title and I know it.
Oh, no.
Oh, I love that story. Oh, I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, for those of you listeners, if you're those those comic book readers will know what it is. So, and that's coming from somebody who hasn't read the comics, but I understand the title when I saw it earlier. So yeah,
so 11 wraps up this story,
which we will do next episode. Jayme, what do you think? Should we actually just do 11 or do 11 and go right into 12?
Let's do 11 and 12. We've done 2 the whole way through.
So, all right. Dreamers, Podcastica listeners, panelers, we
have 1 episode left.
1 episode left. We'll go in depth on that for the next week. And then after that, we'll do our bonus episode for fun. And then sadly enough, Jayme and I will be completed with Sandman.
If only we had other shows to talk about. Oh, wait.
But
before we get into that, do we have any quotes before we totally go
before we go off the rails. Okay, yeah. I have 2. And you'll love this one. Merv saying, "Ladies, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm a pumpkin with a gun."
I love that. I was actually clapping when I watched that.
Same here. Mark Hamill with his gravelly voice. And then lastly, I have the Furies to Lyda. We don't free, we revenge. And I think you already brought that up.
Yeah, that was a good one. I killed my son twice. Once when I wouldn't help him, and once when I did. Which that's really flippin' heavy.
It is heavy.
Like, that's so heavy. And then I can't read my handwriting for the last word on this one. Because I had your gun one too, but it was so I'm trying to look it up real quick just to make sure I have it right. But intent and outcome are rarely coincident. Like, you intended it to go one way and the outcome It's not always what you intended. That was one of those, and that's straight out of the comic. That was one that I really liked. That's so reading the comic, there'd be lines like that, and you'd just stop and think about them. And like that was one of the ones that always stuck with me.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, okay, that's my quotes. I think we are done with episode
Episode 9
10.
and 10. Yes, we are finished with episodes 9 and 10. With that, we'll lead right into podcast recommendations. Jayme, do you have any or suggest anything that's on Podcastica? Anything else that you are interested in?
I think I mentioned it last time, but the Alien coverage.
Oh yeah, Alien
is
Earth.
Awesome.
Yep.
And Run for Your Lives hit a milestone. Forgot how many years they
5
hit.
years.
5 years. So congrats to them. That's huge.
That is huge. And well, yeah, I was going to bring up the Aliens Earth as well, but I do have to bring up something that's on my network, which would be what's on tonight and our coverage of Dexter Resurrection.
Dexter!
So
yes,
check that out. Becky had coerced me into being the the other co-host while we had guests on. I was not looking to do all the episodes, but apparently I had to do them because nobody else would do them. But here I am. The next episode, which will be the final episode of Dexter Resurrection that we're going to cover, our friend Steve Brown's going to be on. So
yay, Steve.
Instead of live Steving, we're going to get real Steve.
Even better.
And yeah, he and I are continuing our coverage on Panels to Pixels podcast of Peacemaker. And come the end of the month, we will dive into what? Gen V. And what else, everybody? Oh my goodness. I just heard today Marvel Zombies. It's the animated version of Marvel Zombies. Yes, we are covering that.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, it's coming out.
Oh, that's exciting.
So, Jayme, if you want, you could come on and we could talk about zombies a little bit if you like.
Who doesn't love zombies?
Once we wrap up Invincible. So we will finish up Invincible. And that's on Amazon Prime. So obviously, after me and Steve get into Peacemaker, we're jumping into Gen V, and then we'll be doing Marvel Zombies. And there'll be more stuff out there for Adrenaline Cinema Podcast as far as like the Telemasca is coming out eventually this year. So look forward to Lara and Billy with an IE coming out to talk about the Telemasca if they jump into it. The continual talk about Mayfair Witches up into the point that we get, of all things on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. Oh, yes, the Vampire Lestat, which is the next season of the Interview with the Vampire series that is found on AMC Plus. So we got a lot of things going for you on the Pyrocore Entertainment Network. Yes, I got a lot of homework, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to edit.
Anybody covering K-pop Demon Hunters?
No, but I know a couple of people that want to do it.
I've watched the movie twice now, and we play the soundtrack all the time.
Okay. Well, you and Frank Rodriguez are more than welcome to cover that, Jayme. Frank, that's all he could talk about when we last covered with Superman afterwards.
It's so good.
Yes, I've heard a lot. I gotta watch it myself. That's one of those things I gotta do.
Watch it twice.
Watch it twice.
Because you pick up so many things the second time.
That we do. Look forward for Adrenaline Cinema Podcast 2 with when I bring Cat Craft back, and we're gonna do Nobody 2.
Ooh.
So that just dropped down on digital download for those of you who want to purchase and buy it or watch it wherever you get it from. So let us know. And as far as the Pyrocore Entertainment music podcast goes, I have stuff still in the works. I still have to get these people scheduled. I have like at least 3 people scheduled to talk about music, their music we love, things that we're going to do. And then there's more Adrenaline Cinema stuff out there. It's just a matter of getting everybody together. It's just very hard. We're all busy. So with that, and then check out Podcastica.com for all the other cool stuff that's out there on Podcastica. You got...
And coming up on Podcastica is the Great British Bake Off. which I'm going to join the first episode with Wendy and Greg.
Awesome. And it's still slaying a Buffyverse podcast that Penny and Kara are doing. They're continuing their coverage with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, we're at a key moment at this point with the bridging of the three, the Scooby Gang, all together to go against the big bad. And I think they're continuing their coverage too on Angel, which coincides with it. So yeah, I gotta get with Penny. I haven't really, we play D&D together, but we haven't podcasted in a while, other than the Dexter
so
shows. So
she's so good.
So we've just been having fun with that. It's funny because we don't really talk about too much podcasting stuff when we're doing D&D, which is something else that you could do if you join Jason Gabassi's Patreon, which is part of Podcastica.
Totally worth it.
So you could find friends that do the same thing and love and enjoy to talk about these things or do other activities. We used to do a hell of a lot more during the pandemic, but
yeah, everybody's lives are busy.
They're busy again, but you can make time for that on an off week.
I'm bummed I'm not going to make the meetup this year.
Same here. I can't afford it. That's the only issue that I have.
Me too. I went to Japan. That was where all my money went.
You had a thing of the lifetime.
Right.
Well, I'm looking forward to, that's other things that I do love. Everybody knows me. I love Godzilla. So there's another anniversary coming up, everybody. So I'll be spending Godzilla Day doing what? Watching Godzilla films.
As you should be.
And there's a lot of stuff in that. I should really just set up like a kaiju podcast, but I haven't. Anyhow, enough of podcast recommendations, thoughts, and everything else. Like I said, check out the Podcastica Network. Go to podcastica.com. Check out all the podcasts, all the other stuff that they're putting out there and content. You can go to the Pyrocore Entertainment Podcast Network. So basically, if you go to pyrocoreentertainment.com, there'll be a link. Other than that, we did put stuff out there for feedback, but if you wanted to send feedback, there's two ways of doing so, and Jayme will tell you right now how to do that with Podcastica.
If you'd like to leave some feedback or just say hi, you can send us an email or a voice message at talk@podcastica.com. Also, if you're listening to this episode, you're like, I've been meaning to write in, you can give us a recap of what you thought of the whole season for our next episode. And when you head to podcastica.com, there's a handy voice message link, and you can check them out on social media, Facebook.com/Podcastica, Twitter @Podcastica, and Instagram @HousePodcastica.
Awesome. And for Panels to Pixels podcast, well, you could just go to our Facebook group, which would be facebook.com/Panels to Pixels. And you'll see images and stuff like that. You could just put your thoughts in the comments below of the image of what we're covering at that time. You could easily give us a Facebook Messenger comment. I'll get them just the same. Whatever's on Facebook is on Instagram. But if you want to follow us on Instagram, you could just follow us at Panels to Pixels podcast. And that way, like I said, whatever's on Instagram is on Facebook, and I'll get them nonetheless. If you want to send a email, all you have to do is just, write your thoughts out, send them to panels2pixels1@gmail.com. Panels 2 is spelled out TO, pixels and the number 1@gmail.com. You can write out your thoughts. We'll read them on the next podcast, or you could just record yourself and send that as an attachment. And it would be as if you were on the podcast itself. So with that, we are also on YouTube. Subscribe, give a thumbs up, ring the bell to be notified if a new episode jumps on. A lot of people like to listen that way, but we also do get information that way. So if you leave a comment, we will get that comment. Same thing with Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Apparently Spotify, we get messages. So leave a message on Spotify and we'll get them, and we'll talk, we'll get your comments and we'll talk about them. For Apple Podcasts and Spotify, there's usually a rating or review. Please do so and do that as well. So next week, what are we doing?
Episodes 11 to wrap up the Morphius story, and then episode 12 for a bonus episode.
Yep. So next week we'll be covering Sandman season 2, episode 11, A Tale of Graceful Ends.
And episode 12, the high cost of living.
So with that,
Pleasant dreams or unpleasant nightmares, everyone. Take care.
and I just want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jayme.
And this was Sandman Cast. And we will podcast in your dreams.
Good night.
And for you panelers, same podcast, different panel, different pixel. And this was Panels to Pixels podcast. And we'll see you on the next panel.
Bye.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. And we'll see you in the dreams too, by the way, apparently. And laughing. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, going out strong.
Yeah.